Question 5.1. It looks as if you've got an equilibrium reaction. You've got amounts of each of the substances before you've mixed them, before it's reached equilibrium, and then some of the amounts in the equilibrium mixture, and you've got to work out the remaining amounts. Fairly standard question. I always set it out as a table because I think it's easier to see. So I put it as a table and I put the three chemicals, the NO, that should say Cl2 rather than O2, sorry, and NOCl here. I put at the start, it tells me that I've got 1.5 moles of NO, 1 mole of Cl2 here, and 0 moles. It doesn't have any mention of this, and you've not made any of this yet because you're only just about to mix them, so that's 0. It says at the end, the equilibrium mixture contains 0.35 moles of NOCl. It asks you to work out the other two, so how on earth can we do that? Well, if 0.35 moles of NOCl have been made, we can work out what it's been made from. So it's used up some of the reactants here to make the product. So 2 moles of NO make 2 moles of NOCl, so the same number of moles of NO are used up to make the same number of moles of NOCl. So 2 moles of NO would react to make 2 moles of NOCl. So if 0.35 moles of NOCl are made, then 0.35 moles of NO are used up. How much Cl2 is used up? Well, 2 moles of NO react with 1 mole of Cl2, 2 to 1, so 0.35 divided by 2, 0.175 moles of Cl2 have been used up. Therefore, work out how much is at equilibrium. I started with 1.5 moles of NO, I've used up 0.35, subtract the 2, 1.15 moles of NO remains. How much Cl2 remains? I started with 1, I've used up 0.175, subtract the 2, 0.825 moles of Cl2 have been used up. NOCl, well, I just made 0.35 moles of that, and it's not asking me that in the question because I just made that. So amounts of NO 1.15, amounts of Cl2 0.825. There are your answers. Give the expression for Kc. So it's NOCl on the right hand side, the concentration of it, raised to the power 2, that's the number of moles in front, divided by concentrations of the chemicals on the left, the reactants, NO to the power 2, that's number in front, Cl2 to the power 1, so you can leave that off, and the square brackets and concentrations. Now it says at a different temperature I've got different amounts, it just wants me to put them in. So I've got the equilibrium expression from before. It gives me the Kc, the equilibrium constant, 1.32 times 10 to the minus 2. It tells me the concentrations of NO and it tells me the concentrations of Cl2, so I've put those in, and then I've multiplied 0.85 by 0.85 because it's squared, multiplied by 0.58 equals 0.331. I've multiplied both sides by 0.331, so my NO2Cl concentration squared of these two numbers multiplied by together, square root it, NOCl is 0.066.